Alright, what's up, fight fans? You're watching Untitled Control MMA. I'm Dan. Merry Christmas, everyone. It'll be Christmas Day when this goes up. Today we're going to do my Fight of the Year picks. I appreciate most channels have probably already got theirs out, but I've been thinking a little bit about it. I'm probably going to have similar picks to everyone else because obviously most of the nominations are fairly universal, but I'm hoping everyone will enjoy it anyway. I'll have a few clips today as well for the first time. I'm hoping they go well, and I'd love to see any comments if people think I could improve on the way I put them in any better. Right, so we'll start off with the nominations. I've got a few honourable mentions. Then I'll give you my pick, and then we'll move on for the day. Tomorrow I'll be doing Submission of the Year, and the day after that I will be doing Knockout of the Year. And we may have one or two other awards, such as Breakthrough Fighter, that sort of thing, best performance, something of that nature. I haven't decided yet. Okay, so without further ado, we'll get started with the nominations. First off, we've got Zhang Li versus Joanna. Definitely pronounced that wrong. I hope I've spelt it right. The name will be on the screen now. You'll currently be watching a clip between that fight. It's UFC 247. Sorry, 248, I think. Yeah, 7th of March it was, just before the pandemic. Women's strawweight title, absolute barn burner, as all the fights on this list were. Very close split decision. I personally gave it to Joanna, but I can see how it went the other way, and I hope everyone enjoyed that fight. Right, next up we've got Dustin Poirier versus Dan Hooker. Fight night, 27th of June. Unanimous decision win for Hooker. Great high-level striking in this one. Good takedown defence from Hooker. Both of them looked absolutely battered by the end of it. Again, all around, just another great performance. The clip running at the minute. You see, just the takedown defence of Hooker really helped him out in this one. He is a guy that struggles on the ground. Both of these guys are fighting at UFC 257 in January. Dan Hooker versus Chandler's recently been announced. I'm not sure if it's 100% yet, but I do think it was Dana White's Instagram where I saw it, so I'm fairly confident that we're going to be seeing this one. Probably co-main event, I imagine, so only 3 rounds, but with it being Chandler's first fight in the UFC, that's probably not a bad thing for him. Right, next up, Ferguson versus Gaethje, UFC 249. Everyone remembers this one. It's the first pay-per-view back after they closed for a few weeks for the pandemic earlier this year. Ferguson did very well to make it as far as he did. Gaethje was very impressive. Very surprised he didn't drop him. Again, looking back at it now, this is probably the beginning of the end for Tony Ferguson now. He just couldn't take that amount of damage, and he didn't look the same fighter he used to when he fought Charles Oliveira just last week. Alright, so next up we've got Hermansson versus Vettori. I don't know if everyone else has got this one in their Fight of the Year nominations, but I really enjoyed this one. I actually put some money on Hermansson to knock him out in this one, which was a mistake it would seem. The clip I'm showing at the minute's from the first round, where everyone thought Vettori had finished him. He dropped him very heavily with some heavy blows, followed up with some ground and pound. No one would have been surprised if that fight stopped. Very glad it didn't though, because the next 4 rounds are absolutely electric. Looked like Hermansson was coming back into the fight in the 3rd round. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way, but even so, fantastic fight. I'm not saying it went under anyone's radar, because I don't think it did. There's been a lot of great fights this year, but for me, this is definitely one of the top 5. Alright, next up, Figureido versus Moreno, UFC 256. Maybe a bit of recency bias on this one, because it was only a couple of weeks ago, last pay-per-view of the year. 5 round, fought to a draw. Figueiredo probably should have won, but he got the point deducted for the groin strike. To be fair, I appreciate it was his first groin strike of the fight, but it was such a significant one that I think it was fair to take a point off. So a referee getting a lot of backlash on social media afterwards about it, but personally I think it's a very fair decision, so no complaints from me. Again, I bet on Figureido for a knockout on this one. Disappointed not to get that, but it looks like we're going to run it back early next year, and I can hardly wait for that one at all. Alright, so that's my 5 nominations. I'm going to just do a few honourable mentions before I get to my pick. First one being Stipe DC, UFC 252. The story of this one, unfortunately, was the eye pokes. But if you can look past that, this was a fantastic fight. 2 of the best fighters of all time. Stipe, heavyweight GOAT, definitely. DC, coming up just short in both the divisions he fought, unfortunately. Obviously, his kryptonite was John Jones at light heavyweight, and then Stipe at heavyweight. But a fantastic fighter, former Olympian. Great performance from DC. He just didn't do enough. But there were times in that fight where he looked like he could have won it. So no complaints there. He didn't embarrass himself, and it was a great performance from both of them. Okay, last but not least on honourable mentions, BLACHOWICZ versus REYES. I appreciate this only went a round and a half, and it may not be the longest fight, but and this may or may not have been better for performance of the year, and perhaps it will be one of my nominations in that video that I do later this week. But yeah, I thought this was a fantastic fight. Definitely the best fight of UFC 253. Costa Adesanya was very disappointing for me. It wasn't the fight I was hoping to see. Costa didn't really do much. Adesanya, yeah. But you'll be seeing right now, you'll be seeing the body kicks that BLACHOWICZ was throwing. And if he does fight Adesanya next year, I imagine he'll go into that on an underdog, but I will be putting money on him. I'm very confident that especially upper weight class, that Adesanya will struggle and BLACHOWICZ will possibly knock him out even. But I'm very much looking forward to that fight either way, no matter who wins. And if not, he'll fight Teixeira, who probably deserves the title shot more than anyone at this point. So either of those fights very exciting, and I'll be looking forward to them. Alright, now it's time for my pick for fight of the year. It's going to be Poirier Hooker. This was... I just, at the time, I wasn't expecting much, but the card it was on wasn't anything exciting. I mean, the fact I'm struggling to remember any other fights from that card at the minute suggests I wasn't overly enamoured with it from the start. But that fight at the end, I expected a Poirier knockout in that one. He was coming off his loss to Khabib, which he was very disappointed by, and he was looking for a big bounce back win. I was expecting him to come all out, and I was expecting a first or second round knockout from Poirier. Hooker had the fight against Paul Felder early in February, which is again another fight of the night. Paul Felder's another guy who deserves a lot of credit this year. 2 fights he's had, Dan Hooker, RDA, both massive fights. Took a lot of damage in both of them, but he's a true performer, true fighter. So fight of the year one more time, Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier, 27th of June, just a fight night main event. Went the full 5 rounds. Poirier unanimous decision. My fight of the year. Alright guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I don't really know how this video went. Like I say, with the clips, hopefully I've been able to insert them all in the right places. But like I say, I hope everyone enjoys it. And I'll be doing either submission of the year or knockout of the year tomorrow. So I hope everyone can join me for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Hope everyone has a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow.